Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marco, and today I'm gonna show you how to make deserts in Blender. As can be seen, changing the height and the distribution of the dunes is simple and easy with just 2 sliders. Let's start by deleting everything. Open a shader editor area on the left. Add a plane object to the scene and scale it up by 1 kilometer. Remember to apply the scale. Also, edit the viewport clipping to make the whole plane visible. Add a sky texture in the world shader and set the contrast in the color management section to high. Set the dicing rate of the viewport to 2. Switch to material preview in the viewport, and let's start creating our desert. Add an object coordinate node and scale it down so that we can later use reasonable scale values for procedural textures. Let's add a noise texture. This will be used for distorting our dunes. Add together the object coordinates and the noise to create a distorted map. Now add a noise texture and connect the distortion to the vector input. Why are we using Voronoi? Because its shape is close to the shape of real-world dunes and deserts. Overlay the noise and the Voronoi textures. Add another Voronoi. And overlay it with the others. This way we get more variation over the dunes. Now add a noise texture and increase the distortion. Use it in the factor of the overlay node. To control the distribution of the dunes, we now add a noise texture, and we are going to control it with a map range node. Add a value node and rename it Remover. For small rocks and pebbles, add a noise texture node and set their size using a map range. We also want the stones to appear only on lower parts of the dunes, so let's increase the contrast of the dunes and use it to multiply the stones map. Finally, add the stones to the dunes. Now multiply the height map by a value node, which we name height, and connect the output to a displacement node. Then we connect the displacement node to the material output displacement input. Switch to the Modifiers tab and add a Subdivision surface modifier, enable Adaptive Subdivision. Also go to the Material tab and change the displacement method to displacement only. Slightly change the sun position in the sky and lower the exposure of the scene. Also increase the roughness of the principled shader. That's because sand is a very rough material. Now let's take this part of the height map, and with a map range, increase the contrast. Then connect it to the factor of a mix color node. Change the two colors to different variations of sand. For example, one might be reddish and the other more yellow. Duplicate the mix color node and connect it to the base color input of the principled BSDF. Let's take the rocks and connect it to the factor. Now change the color for the rocks. For creating smaller details, we add a noise texture and connect it to the bump node, which we connect to the normal of the principled shader. Increase the roughness of the diffuse input and a bit of sheen effect. This makes sand look more realistic. And here we go. You made it to the end. Thanks for following me. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Bye and see you in the next one. Have fun.